Now we review South of Hope Street. I think we're all kind of south of Hope Street. Yeah, it's a 2024 film. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I recently ran into the film South of Hope Street. Full disclaimer, I do not believe I was given a legal screener of this movie. Somebody was like, dude, you have to watch this. No, Richard, really, you have to watch South of Hope Street. It is right up your alley. It is your kind of film. And he was right. South of Hope Street. You've got the story of a woman living in a dystopian future where there's a weird organization of black-shoed weirdos trying to control everything. She lives in abject poverty, living in the corner of somebody else's apartment in a cruel, cruel world where horrible things are going on, and everybody is saying, well, it doesn't affect me, so it's not important. It is akin to modern day Nazi Germany and, well, Nazi France, really. But, let's just put it to you this way. When I described this movie to a coworker, that coworker said, yeah, like modern day. And this movie kind of files into the category of theater of the absurd. And why do I say that? Is because you can't so much describe plot points as you can describe happenings or actions. I mean, there's one scene where this girl's like, you've got to move out. But I got a job. I'm going to pay rent. It's like, no, I've got a new boyfriend and we don't have the room for you anymore. You've got to move out. And it's like, she sleeps in a corner of somebody's room. Doesn't have like a proper bed or anything. And doesn't even have much in the way of, clothing or belongings. So it's just this really, really bizarre film. And, this really sad things happen with nobody caring. And nobody giving any consideration to how they'll be viewed by their peers, because we live in a world where nobody cares about anyone but themselves. And this is really compelling. You could tell that this is not an airplane, really. The man is interrupting this. Look, I'm just going to have to power through this. I know this happens a lot. This happened in the last video I shot, which is still on this camera. Come on, airplane, go. Well, yeah, in this film, incidentally, there is footage of fighter jets, because one of the things that's happening in the film is that there's a war. We don't know what the war is about or with whom. The country claims to be neutral, that they're not Americans, and they're taking anybody as soldiers at this point. There's a man who's disabled, and they take him as a soldier, and, he's like, well, I should serve my country. It's like, yeah, but, when you serve your country, you come back and nobody respects you for it, and it's harder for you to get a job, not easier. So you're really just screwing yourself over at that point. But that's one of those things about this film, is that it is the gobbledygook of life. It is not designed in any way to make a point. It is designed to make you think, to draw from you the questions you should ask yourself. Itchy nose. And one of the things I do have to point out in this film, is there are references to the film Equilibrium. I believe that's with Christian Bale. And I mean, Equilibrium was a solid film, but it was also a film that makes, I think I reviewed it at some point. And I remember the first time I saw Equilibrium, I've seen it several times. There's a cat outside. I've seen it several times, and, I thought the only thing that film needed was explosions, and then everything blew up. And the cat's playing with the bucket outside. I have a mop bucket that I didn't put away. Listen to me, put away your mop bucket. But yeah, it's one of those things about this kind of existential, absurdist film, is that it's an art piece. It's really hard for me as a I'm not a professional reviewer, but as a reviewer, as a man who watches cinema critically to view this critically, because it is what it is supposed to be. It is a perfect example of itself. And, I mean, there are references to other movies. You know, there's a character in there who dresses and acts the way he does in another, or the actor is dressing and acting the way he does in another movie. I don't think they ever say his name, but I think he's a hitman in the other movie, and he's a hitman in this. And the only thing he was missing, as I recall, is a lollipop. Anyway, so what I'm saying is, this is an art film. It should pretty much be on your must-watch list. And, I mean, I don't say that lightly. I know it falls similarly into films like Civil War and Requiem for a Dream. Now, I'm not going to say it's as good as Requiem for a Dream, because that was an incredible, although punishing film. It's the kind of film a lot of people can't watch twice, Requiem for a Dream. This film, I actually did watch the screener. Well, I watched it 1.5 times, because the first time I watched it, I was in an environment where I couldn't give it my full attention. And, you know, being a guy, I'm trying to review a film every day. I'm trying to get to the point where I have 165 films reviewed and edited and ready for you to see the reviews of. I took the extra hour, I'd watched it for an hour, I took the extra hour to watch it again because I felt the film was that important. So yeah, you should definitely see this film. It is a must-watch film. It is as relevant to us as Civil War is now, or as Don't Look Up was previously. Now, mind you, I didn't think Don't Look Up was as good as this movie, and I didn't like Don't Look Up that much. But I have to acknowledge we should all watch it to see a concept and make us think about our modern reality. So, yes, South of Hope Street. Watch this film. It is a must-watch film. You need to see this. It will make you think. I'm Richard. Halt! You have entered the jurisdiction of Sergeant Duck! And Sergeant Duck says it is your duty to comment, like, and subscribe. That way you will support this channel for more awesome content. This channel will then pull 1 pound of trash out of the ocean for every 1,000 subscribers, help plant trees every year, and do all kinds of good things for you. You deserve it. So, comment, like, and subscribe. Better world for you, better world for me, and I won't issue you a ticket.